Some of you Georgia drivers may be frustrated now that the new hands-free driving law is in effect, but all hope is not lost for you drivers. There are some solutions in place. Coming up, I'll tell you how you can avoid getting a ticket. If I could describe the atmosphere in one word, it would be supportive. This even after Lieutenant Governor Casey Cagle has conceded. According to Columbus Mayor Teresa Tomlinson, anything related to the grand jury will still take place tomorrow morning on the ground floor of the Government Center. That's where I am right now. She held the Miss America title back in 2013. I'm sure you've gotten a lot of scrutiny over that as it relates to this race. So what do you have to say to those naysayers who doubted you in this race? Well, some of you drivers may be a little bit frustrated with today's blockade, but let me just go behind the camera right now and show you how much water we're talking about here. I'm at one of those badly damaged homes right now. As you can see behind me, there's a gaping hole at the top of this house. They say the armed robbery happened at a time where FBI officials do work inside, for those of you who may not know, and it's not been made clear whether the suspect knew that at the time that those FBI officials do work at this SunTrust Bank. Teresa, Phil, behind me is another look of that massive bus fire that happened in Midland, Georgia just yesterday. Tonight, I caught up with one of the 8 students who was on the bus just moments ago. The 16-year-old boy told me when he arrived at school today, no one acknowledged his near-death experience as if it had never happened.
I kind of almost died yesterday.
16-year-old Samir Yunez is a junior at Shaw High School in Columbus. He provided News 3 with this incredible video. Monday, Yunez was one of the 8 students on this Muskogee County School District bus on Carnoustie Lane.
This is not normally the usual bus that we take.
Herbert Hill, the director of transportation for Muskogee County Schools, says the student's original bus was in for maintenance. Then they sent a replacement.
It was like an old rundown bus.
Yunez says he was in walking distance to his home around 4 in the afternoon Monday when smoke started to rise towards the front of the bus.
I was the first one to notice it, but I didn't know what to do. I was just like in shock.
Yunez says things started to take a turn for the worse when a bus assistant tried to escort the kids off the bus.
She panicked and she started pushing us towards the fire, and then we started pushing her back. She was like, no, this way, this way.
Yunez says it took the bus assistant about 3 tries to open the fire escape in the back.
It was just something I never expected would happen to me in my high school experience.
Yunez says he was the last one to exit even after the bus assistant.
I had to wait because the lady who opened up the fire escape landed wrong, and I had to wait for her to get out of my way because I didn't want to jump on her.
Thankfully, everyone escaped the bus unharmed. Yunez says at school Tuesday, no one acknowledged the traumatic experience. He says he feels like the school district was trying to cover up the situation.
There was nothing mentioned on the intercom today in the morning announcements or the afternoon announcements of that, accident happening.
I also got a chance to catch up with the parents of Yunez. They say the school district didn't even notify them of yesterday's incident. News 3 was notified when we received a copy of an email that Superintendent David Lewis has sent to school board members.
I talked to my son yesterday on it. I told my kids I love them. I never thought this was going to be the last time.
That's Natasha Washington, the mother of Dominique Horton. She says she's lost without her son.
But I ain't better help my baby voice no more. I ain't better help my knee.
Columbus police say the 22-year-old was gunned down Thursday in the 300 block of 32nd Avenue near his grandma's house.
Dominique was a person that he just didn't want nobody to mess with his family.
She says Horton and his cousin happened to be in the area when a fight broke out between 2 women. Washington says a separate incident happened with Horton's cousin, and Horton tried to break it up, and then shots rang out.
He sat in his chair where you could see all his blood and all that, and he didn't want nobody to touch him, and he was telling my granddaddy, I'm hurt. And he looked up at my cousin, and he looked up at my brother and told my brother, cuz I'm finna die.
Police say Dondre Hill was also shot Thursday. He was treated and released from Midtown Medical Center. We begin with breaking news out of Columbus tonight. That's where reports of a shooting are starting to surface. Our Jesslyn Adams is live on 33rd Street, where a heavy police presence is gaining attention tonight. Jesslyn, what can you tell us? In Columbus, the city's first drag queen story hour was held today. Dozens turned out, including families, protesters, and even police. In a story you saw first on 3, our Jesslyn Adams reports whether the protests got out of hand. Well, hot, muggy, and slightly rainy are just a few words to describe today's weather. Here to tell us what we can expect in the morning is First Alert meteorologist Cody Nickel. Hey, Cody. Take a listen to this. Windows shattered, doors broken, and furniture destroyed. This is a result of a SWAT raid in Colorado. Police say they were looking for a man who was wanted in Georgia. He wasn't there, and it wasn't his house. So who pays for the damage? Lance Hernandez caught up with the homeowner, and they both went looking for that answer.